Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton and I'm really excited to bring you the front 9 holes of the rookie division for the summer major. I've got drop shots on the majority of the holes, so that gets me pumped up because I know this video is really going to help a lot of people out. So first of all, congrats for making it to the final round of the major. Now let's hit some perfect shots and get those drops and see if we can get you to win this thing. All right, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. That would be awesome. Thank you everybody for helping me break the 5,000 subscriber mark yesterday. That was really cool. If you like my videos, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up. Let's go. Hole number 1, I'm going to show you 2 drives. One would be with an extra mile 7 or below, and the other one is going to be with an extra mile 8. If you're playing with an extra mile 7, what you're going to do here is you're going to adjust your elevation as we normally do, but we are going to push back up to max. And yes, I am using a berserker on hole number 1. We want the advantage. We want to get up there as close to that green as possible to get this drop on hole number 1. So here you see we power it up and we get where we want to be on this hole. Now, if you have an extra mile 8 or 9, I want you to go ahead and use your top spin, 6 top. Extra mile 9, do not use full top. I want you to keep it at 6 top. Same thing with the side spin here, 1 bar to the left. Here we're going to pull our rings. We are not pushing back up to max. We are using the same type of overpower combined with a little bit of left curl. And we're looking for the same result. And we're just looking to power this ball up here and get as close to the fringe green as possible for our chip in. I'll show you the chip in on both accounts. This is the first one. This is the account that has the extra mile 7. I have a Firefly here. I'm going with absolute max top spin combined with 2 bars of side spin to the left. The side spin to the left is very important. Pulling the rings and getting the adjustment right is very important because you can see here the green has a massive slope from right to left. So typically when you miss this shot, you're going to miss it on the right hand side. I'm sorry, it slopes from left to right. All right, take a look at the picture here. I'll show you what I mean. You can see that when we go to take this shot, the green, it slopes downhill from left to right. So just make sure you've got your spin adjustments correct. This is going to be my other account. This one has the Endbringer, of course, but the same thing. Full top, full left on the side spin. Here, you can notice that on the accounts, I'm offsetting slightly to the left-hand side of the flagstick. I zoom in real close. I'm making sure that I get that adjustment dead on. There you can get a really good view of the slope from left to right. Perfect ball, and we are good for dead center hole number 1. Hole number 2, minus 5% at minimum. We do drop the hole in 1 here, so you could get yourself off to a -4 start through the first 2 holes. Minus 5% at minimum distance of our club. Here you're seeing that I'm going to use 3 bars of side spin to the right combined with 1 bar of backspin. This is going to be automatic. As soon as the game starts, do that right there. 1 back, 3 right. As soon as it starts. Now find your landing spot. You'll take note here that with the sniper 10, I got the ball guideline going through the pin, just like that. And then take a look at the setup here. Our setup, that gives you a really good view. The green inner ring is fully in the rough with a little bit of the yellow ring in the rough, but the majority of the yellow ring on the fairway. That's your landing spot. 3.2 mile per hour wind. That's kind of in the middle of what you can get. With I think 2.2 being the lowest and like around 4.5 being the highest. But you'll see this one here drops in dead center for the hole in 1. Takes us off to hole number 3. Hole number 3, the drive is played 10% at max. Since I had over 4 mile per hour wind, I decided to go 5.5 bars of topspin. Now, of course, if you're playing with an extra mile 7 or below, you're going to go with max topspin. If you're playing with an extra mile 8 or 9, if the wind's over 4, I don't want you to go 6 top. I want you to go 5.5. And the reason being is we don't want to get too many yards on the drive. We've got to make sure, well, I like to make sure that on the rough bump, I am in sniper range, okay? If you get wind over 4 and you have an extra mile 8, you could just go ahead and do 6 top, as I did that with my other account, and I was still in sniper range, but that's for anything below 4. 384 in the drive. This leaves us here for a nice little albatross opportunity. I wish I would have dropped it. The shot you are going to see me play is being played, it's either minus 10 or minus 15%. It's one of the two. But I don't make it. So I do know that I want you to try minus 20%. I'm just trying to think of what can get this ball in the hole. You'll see here my yellow ring is on the rough line, ball guideline going through the pin. And yes, there are quite a few rough bumps in this tournament. They definitely developed this course around rough bumps. Par 3s, albatross opportunities, eagle opportunities on the par 4. But you'll see just missed it there to the left-hand side. Just missed. When we make our adjustment, we are pulling that way as well. So we're pulling to the left. So basically I missed just by a fraction. That's why I want you to take less off the adjustment. And I want you to try minus 20% there. Good luck, everybody. I hope you get that one in the hole. But if you don't, you can still start minus 6. Hole number 4, we pick up an eagle. So you could be at a minus 8 through the first 4 holes. We go 3 bars of side spin to the left, combined with 2.5 bars of top spin. Do you have to use a Kingmaker? No. You could definitely use a Katana if you wanted to. But hey, this is the final round. We are getting headwind. And the rough bump is going to be, again, the absolute best option to drop this one. So why not use the Kingmaker to get that little extra tick of wind resistance? Here you see this is just a normal shot. We're powering this thing up the fairway. We don't want to go with too much top spin. Again, all we want to do is just land right here around this 330-yard mark. And we're going to be sitting pretty much in the exact mid-distance with our runner. Now, if you're a higher level player and you have, that Hornet, that's great. If you're not, we're going to go with the runner. To me, I like the runner more. It's just less of a ring pull. You're going to notice here, I've got, 6 bars of top spin or close to it. Your top spin will vary depending on the yardage of your drive. Here we're like 5.9 top. Most importantly, I'm not worried about how much top spin you have to use. I just want your ball guideline going through the back of the pin with your yellow ring on the rough line like that. Now, I accidentally put it a little bit over, but regardless, as long as we clip this rough and we hit perfect, we're going to be very, very close to the eagle, if not in the hole like this one is. We do hit the perfect ball. And we get that one to drop in there very nicely for the eagle on hole number 4. Now we go to hole number 5. Hole number 5, 0% at mid. Another hole in one here. You could get yourself off to a minus 10 start through the first 5 holes, and you would be cooking with gas if that's the point. Notice what we're doing here as far as the spin adjustment goes. We're going to call that about 0.8 bars of top spin. The thing that I would tell you, okay, I'm getting 2.2 mile per hour wind on this hole. When I went to take my real shot, I was up in the higher 3s. I did the same spin adjustment. The ball was dead on, but it stopped just short. So I did not get the hole in one in real mode. So keep that in mind. If you get higher wind, we do need to increase this to probably 1 bar to 1.1 bars of top spin. This one just happened to be 2.2 miles an hour, which is the lowest you can get in rookie without using a money ball. But you're going to see here, we clip the rough very nicely, and we do just get this one in for the hole in one. You could see the ball really start to slow down at the end. That's why I kind of give you the warning about use a little bit more top spin if you get higher wind. But there's that drop on hole number 5. Hole number 6, this is the best wind angle possible for this hole. We're going to get tailwind with crosswind from left to right, so it's pushing us towards the part of the course we want to be on. Here we're going to go with the Titan. I'm going to make my wind adjustment. Do not push back up to max. We purposely want to take this one with a nice little controlled overpower shot here. The needle is just a little bit jumpy, but you know, you can't ask for a better situation on a long par 5 here. We do get this one up the course, and we get it to go very nicely. If you have higher wind on the drive, don't do as much overpower, okay? This course is very particular. That's why I'm taking a little bit of extra time to talk you through some of the spin adjustments and, you know, that little adjustment there. But, you know, they probably made it that way for a major, which is nice. 10% at max for shot number 2. You know, of course, if you want to make this hole easier, you could go with a power 4 or power 5 ball. Just make sure you don't use something with a high wind resistance, or else you're working against yourself. You want the higher wind on this hole for the drive and to just get over the rough here on shot number 2. It's a lot nicer when we can play over the rough instead of having to curl the ball around to the green. Here you see we hit a perfect ball. I'm not counting on any type of albatross on hole number 6. Here we're just picking this one up for the eagle. Although we are pretty close, you could make some tweaks there to try to get that one to drop. You know, but ultimately so far with the replays, we are minus 12 through the first 6 holes. This takes us on the hole number 7. Hole number 7, I birdie. So if you're able to accomplish all these, you could be minus 13 through the first 7. That's pretty sweet. Extra mile, 3 bars of side spin to the right, 2 bars of backspin. Here, we're going to just make our wind adjustment. You'll notice that we pull a little bit into overpower. I'm just kind of gauging it there, about half of a ring into overpower. So here, I'm going to go just a tick of overpower. It's not a lot at all. It's just enough to make sure that I 100% clear that rough right there, which I do. It was the perfect amount. And then that's why we use the backspin, so we just land very nicely. Again, yardage on this drive, not important. I just want you to play the same landing spot as me so you can try to get this ball in the hole. I'm playing this shot right here, 0% at minimum. Now, I want you to take note of the spin here. Right now, I've got 1.5 side spin to the right, combined with 2.5 back. Ball guideline going directly to the hole, leaving it just a little bit short. What's happening is on both my accounts, now this was the closer one, on both of my accounts, even though I'm playing at minimum distance, and even though I'm using that right side spin, I'm still missing to the left-hand side. And I say even though I'm playing at minimum because, you know, if I was playing this one more around mid, which is what it looked like I should, I would have to pull even more rings, so I would miss more to the left. So on this account, I decided to play at minimum and see what would happen, and I did get closer. The thing I would suggest here is to add more side spin to the right. I would stick with the 2.5 back. I would go 2 bars of side spin to the right. I would play the sniper shot at minimum distance, again, as long as you replicated my drive. And you should be closer than me. Hopefully it goes in the hole. But if you do everything the same, you're going to be even closer, if not in there for the drop. All right? Okay. Here we have another hole-in-one. So yes, if you're following along with the scorecard, you could be minus 15 through the first 8 holes, and that would be absolutely phenomenal. Well, these replays add up to that. So it's not you could be. These replays 100% so far add up to a minus 15 through 8. Okay, notice the spin here. Half a bar of backspin. Yellow ring on the rough. Ball guideline going to the pin. If anything, okay, it looks like we're just shading the left-hand side of the cup. So more of the ball guideline is in the left-hand side of the cup. You get a really good look at it right there. I always try to zoom in before I take my shot so that you can see what I'm aiming at. Another rough bump to play here. I mean, these are the way to get these balls to go into the hole, with the most luck of getting it to drop, I should say, is with your rough one. So look at that one. That one's dead center. So hole number 8 looking really nice for the hole-in-one. I actually picked it up on both my accounts. That one was 4.3 wind. This one was 3.6. But same thing here. We're going to go half a bar back. Same thing, yellow ring on the rough. This one, I squared it up more center. So let's see what happens when I square it up more center. Because, the first one, most of the ball guideline was on the left-hand side. Perfect ball. Hits the pin for the hole-in-one, hole number 8. All right, lastly, hole number 9. Here we go. We're going to get headwind, so we are using a berserker. I like that we can play over the bunker here. Full tap, full side spin to the right. I'm even going to back my yardage up to the plus 22 with my yellow ring on the rough, just like that. The reason I back it up is so that I can pull my rings 100% accurate. I pulled a tick into overpower. I didn't even use any overpower here. I could have, but I just wanted to make sure that I hit perfect, which I do. Little bit of curl, make sure that we avoid that rough, and you see this ball comes in very nicely. So that to me, I think, is the best drive for hole number 9 here. All right, now one thing real quick on this before we go is if you like my content, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up. If you'd like to support my work and efforts, I do use a lot of practice tokens, which means I use a lot of berserkers, I use a lot of kingmakers, a lot of katanas to try to dial in shots. If you'd like to support my channel and efforts and help me replenish those resources, please check out my link to my PayPal in the comments section below. Or if you'd like to do it on a monthly membership basis, you can check that out in the description of the video. And truly, everybody, anything does help. It goes a long way. All right, hole number 9, super close to the albatross, but I do think it's a hard one to pick up. I want you to try to play this one 20% at mid. This one right here, I'm playing 10% at mid. And it's best to push your rings here instead of pull because those trees get in your way. But there, I pushed it like 3.4 rings. And, we're going to miss to the left, which means I didn't adjust enough, which is why I want you to try to add 10 more percent to elevation. But, man, we only missed that one by half a green square. When I do the math through the app, if I would have played at 20%, it would have definitely dropped, but that's not going to be consistent. With the Power 5 ball, wind resistance 1, we're going to have very, very wide wind angles that we can get, right? Wind strength. Your drive, you may not get as many yards as me. You may get more, you may get less. But I do think 20% at mid is a good basis point for hole number 9 to try to get a very difficult albatross. Hey, I'd be really excited to hear how you're doing on the front 9. Again, congrats for making it this far. Hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and I will start on the back 9. Good luck, everybody.